Hi, my name is Akeem, and I am the founder, chairman, CEO, president, vice president, and the dean of Ran-DomU University. We offer a vast variety of courses, everything from psychology of the fake alpha male to cringe studies to pause 101. Now, if you're interested in joining this university, please call or text the number on the screen at 1555 Ran-DomU. Are you ready?
Have you been in cars that size?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
Well, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
And the car couldn't handle her weight. Boy, the people on the news, man, they ain't shit. I swear, man, they just, the way they like to embellish stories and just really magnify the gravity of the situation is just amazing. It's why I watch the news. Literally, like the way they deliver those stories is why I watch it.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
He was a sex offender and they wouldn't let him into the elementary school. Well, no shit. Just like with the tires, she was too effing big. I want to know the vehicle that she's talking about. Now, listen, I promised I was going to stay off the dank. I was going to lay off Demoss and I was going to just go on with our regular scheduled programming and just do what I normally do here at Ran-DomU University. Please like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to the school. Going back to our more regular scheduled programming with this video, but there was more meat on the bone and I know she would definitely eat all the meat off the bone. I don't know what happened to me the other day. I woke up and I chose violence. I think I understand what people mean by that analogy now. I woke up and I was invigorated, but with some type of like in some type of triggering rage. I snapped. Something happened to me inside my brain to where I woke up and I was like, no, it's time. It's time. Let's go ahead and release. Now, my thing is, I don't hate big people. I really want people to understand that when it comes to these criticisms, you get criticized for ridiculous things here at Ran-DomU University. This place is about God, family, clout, and the clout today is talking about this mess, and we about to get it.
I can fit in this car.
Well, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car. The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
So just dating this all the way back to that clip there, that moment that this all started from, the moment where we all knew that that car was just screaming out in pain, that if she was to get in that car, the car was actually going to scream, ouch. It was actually going to utter words. It was saying, oh no, my rotors. That's what it was screaming when it pulled up. The car was communicating, just like in the movie Cars. It was talking to the owner. As an owner of a vehicle, you know what your car feels like. You know it inside out. It's not like the situation where the guy was literally trying to have sex with his car and marry it, but you do know your vehicle. Yeah, I know. AJ, my dog, like gave me a weird look when I said that. But that is true. You know your vehicle. Y'all are one.
My name is Nathaniel. I live in a small rural town in Texas. And when you last saw me a decade ago, I was in an intimate relationship with my car chase.
It's just like an extra body part. You are together. It's just like being in an Autobot or being in a Megazord. You're controlling it. You know it inside out. But we're talking today about the fact that this lawsuit is continuing and she actually tried to prove her case on video. Now, the thing that she was trying to prove in her vehicle was the fact that she can fit in a normal car. Excuse me, a smaller car, because that's what he had. But before we address that, I do want to go back and address the ridiculous comments that came out of that lawyer's mouth back on that news story.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
Now, all the people have already made all the comments that you really need to make about this situation. It's pretty obvious. Weight, factors, things that you can control in your life, like how much food and calories you can consume, don't compare to what color or race you are. They're not the same category. Now, I'm sorry, they're just not. You cannot equate being black or religious to being fat. My apologies, you can't. I'm sorry, it's not fair. It's not fair to my blackness. And somebody needs, I mean, hell, I wouldn't want that to be the case if somebody was another color. It's not fair to that because it doesn't make any effing sense. And anybody who's heard it was like, homie, we should go ahead and get the baby powder and slap the absolute taste out of your mouth, and they need to take away your lawyer credentials today. Now, the only thing is, there was this other lawyer who said something very interesting when it came to this case.
How big is she? Like, whoa, oh, goodness.
That's not discrimination. That's like
For being fat?
Yeah.
No?
It's not a protected class.
Wow.
Not like protected class. So they could get sued if they didn't let her in because she's black. That would be racial discrimination. But if she's big, being big is not a protected class. It's like your race, religion, gender, that kind of thing. They don't have to give you a ride. Yeah, she doesn't have a claim. No claim. It just seems like a money grab and some attempt at getting some sort of attention. She doesn't have a car? She should walk.
The guy was a douche, yes, but he was making very legitimate points. But I don't think he understands Michigan state law. I don't think he's from the state of Michigan, where people who are humongous are protected under special classes.
Well, from a legal standpoint, it seems like obvious discrimination. The Elliott-Larsen Act, which is Michigan's Civil Rights Act, specifically protects people from weight discrimination. And the driver here turned down her ride because of her weight.
Now, I honestly still don't believe that means she has any case in this whatsoever.
Deja says this experience has scarred her.
Do you know what also causes scars? Stretch marks. Now, if you think I've been overly critical, harsh, mean, cynical, biggity, very fat phobic, then feel free to support her OnlyFans. Because yes, she has an OnlyFans. So if you really think she's just some innocent princess, non-clout chasing demon, you are incorrect. That's why we're going to talk about what I meant to talk about in this video today, which I've been teasing you so far for quite a bit about what I'm going to get into. And it's the fact that she talks about trying to fit into a small vehicle. That's what this is all about today. And the fact that you'll see, actually, let's start now. The vehicle in the back is the vehicle that she's trying to get into. Look at this vehicle. It is bigger than the vehicle that the man had. Even though it is a small SUV, it's still bigger than the one that the dude pulled up to pick her up that night in the Lyft in. It just is. That's a mini SUV, which is bigger than a mini sedan. That's still bigger than a Civic, and she struggled to get in there. She got in smoothly, but let's just be honest. Look how tight it was. It was tight. And just like playing back to this clip,
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What make you think I can't fit in a car?
that's why he said you can't get into his vehicle. I'm sorry, you just won't fit. The other thing about that clip that I was showing you is if you watch when the vehicle pulls off, you can see that the vehicle is slumped to the left, the side that she got into the vehicle on. There's already stress on the tires. There's already stress on the rotors, the car, the drivetrain, the engine. Everything is working harder. Gas mileage has gone down exponentially just because of the weight of the vehicle now. It's lopsided. You better pray to God that you don't go over a speed bump that's like, foot off the ground, or you're effed. Vehicle done. Just, you're finished. And that's what's going to happen. And then that guy's going to be out of a vehicle, and you're going to be damaging more vehicles that you're never going to be responsible to pay for. But yet, deep down, you're talking about how all these other people made you feel embarrassed, made you feel bad. You should feel embarrassed, and it has nothing to do with everybody else. Your situation is embarrassing. You thought the guy was trying to call you out? No, you think that's calling you out? What people been doing on the internet is calling you out.
Good morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you. How are you? Please, King. How you? Good. Nice to meet you, King.
It's the only seat y'all got?
Is she already little?
We had
That's what I'm talking about. Good, this is the accommodation.
There you go.
What that guy was doing was being graceful. He was showing you kindness. But yet, you decided you were going to throw him under the bus and also get him involved in a lawsuit and try to get him fired. This is exactly why the guy said you need to go ahead and order you an Uber XL.
Didn't have to pay for extra for a Uber XL.
Why the not. You are literally the definition of excel. I mean, hell, just look at the back of your shirt, and then you need to start looking at what size Uber you get. Then you can do the comparison, but regular needs to be out of your vocabulary. This whole mindset, this disease, this sickness that you got in your brain saying that I feel like a skinny person does not matter. Does not matter. Look in the mirror. Just like people who are delusional about how they are in relationships and the fact that they never take accountability in their lives about any of the actions that they had. I mean, they're somehow never at fault for the reason why they either got fired, the relationships crashed out, they're broke, nobody likes them, and they're just crap out of luck. Some people don't ever think that some of that stuff has to do with them. Some of the pains and terrible things that happen to your life are self-imposed. Not everything. Yes, there are times in lives where people are victims, but just not here.
And to be more specific with you, I got very tired.
What I got to do with your tires?
Everything. You had everything to do with his tires, just like the vehicle that pulled off in that little demo that you had, or the thing that you were trying to show for your lawsuit that you need to delete, burn, and make sure it's never to be seen again. Please make sure you do that, because I'm telling you, that is not going to help your case when they see that the vehicle is leaned. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of this. You were going to do the same thing to his vehicle. It was going to go out screaming, go out sad. It was like he was putting in a floor model television into his car. That is not something that can go into that mug. And if you've ever tried to lift or push a floor model television, I'm talking about one of those ones that's usually in one of those older beige homes, one of those that your grandparents used to have, small TV. It was acting as like an entertainment stand and a television and a whole bunch of different things, and once a cabinet shelf. They were amazing. But the thing is, they weighed just as much as the house. Just like she is. Just like she does. She weighs just as much as that. There's some things in life that you just can't put in small places and expect good outcomes. That's one of them, and she's one of them. Not her alone, but her type. Look, the messed up thing about this whole scenario is all these complaints are coming from somebody whose knees literally almost shattered when she was on stage performing at a venue, and she almost caused an earthquake and fell through the floor. Like when she hit the ground, people were awfully concerned that they were actually going to have to go lift her. Like they were actually going to have to call in a crew. What if she couldn't get up? If she couldn't get up, she was going to end up just like this chick.
I've also seen a video of her fellow obese people where they needed to get to the hospital. This person was 600 pounds, 100 pounds more than this one over here, or 500 pounds, I don't remember. And she had to be lifted up and taken. The ambulance couldn't, even the ambulance couldn't, she couldn't fit inside the ambulance. They had to order a pickup truck for her just to take her to the hospital. In my eyes, this Lyft driver guy did nothing wrong.
Can you think of anything more embarrassing than getting towed off from your own home? They towed her. They got a pickup truck with a tow on the back, not even a pickup truck, a semi truck with a tow on the back, and lifted her up because she couldn't get into the back of an ambulance. Do you not know how wide an ambulance is? To not be able to fit into an ambulance is gargantuan. You are huge. I don't even know how to describe it. You're like the dragon, the super dragon from Dragon Ball Super. You are literally the atmosphere. You're just everything. That's how big you are. I mean, my God. Like you could tell like she was just flattened out like a pancake. There was just so much of her body spread all over the back of that toe. And I mean, how do you feel? She's talking about, like, Dank Demoss is talking about embarrassing. That is embarrassing. It doesn't get any more embarrassing than that. At least not to me, when people had to saw off half of your house to get you out of it. Hell, what are you going to do about those repairs? Are they just going to glue it back on, slap it back shut? I don't think so. I mean, come on now. Like, we have to start holding people in this world accountable for the ridiculous things that they say, the ridiculous things that they do, so we can start setting better standards going forward. Now, are they actually going to, stand on anything? Probably not, but we should try. It's almost as embarrassing as when she went onto the set of The Breakfast Club. The fact that you couldn't comfortably sit in a chair that was pretty wide, and it did have lumbar support, and they had to literally move an L section. They literally had to move an 8-top up out of the corner of the booth for you to sit in. They literally moved the corner of the restaurant over in front of this table for you to be able to sit down in, and you somehow think you're still going to have a case. I'm telling you, they're going to use all these videos. You need to stop having these you need to stop having these public appearances. They are killing you. way more than your weight already is. But here on this channel, we gotta at least do the trilogy. This was part 3 of the Dank Demoss trilogy here on Ran-DomU University. We had to talk about it though. I wasn't gonna kill a bunch of your time, but I really wanted to address this. That part of the lawsuit, just remember, she is trying to sell her case with that black mini SUV slumped on the side to the left. That is supposed to be the compelling part of her case, the fact that she was able to close the door. That's not enough. There's a reason why the people in my 600-pound life always worry when they have to make the cross-country trip to go see Dr. Now. When they have to go see Dr. Now, they get worried because they know they could die on the adventure. And they're usually riding in a minivan, something that has a lot more space than that shit. But yet they still know that their heart can give out at any moment. The tightness, the pressure, their body being pressed up in such a tight, compact space for such a long amount of time puts out so much stress on every one of your organs. Like when you're walking, you're literally holding yourself together. Like I see it when you walk, everything's moving. I don't know what it's feeling like, but it looks like a lot of stuff is shifting, and that can't be good. You know how in Mortal Kombat where they show when the guys hit you, like the organs and stuff, like they move and shift and stuff like that? I feel like I see it when you wobble.